Thank you. Sam Davis, local resident. Question relating to item 10, the Hills Road cycle scheme. I'm very disappointed that this is just a report for councillors and not up for discussion. I'm very disappointed that there are neither officers present to report nor opportunity for councillors to make clear their thoughts on the management of this project. I'm not sure when the report was made available, but having very quickly read through it this evening, there's 2 points which seem worthy of comment. The first is that there's actually no statement in Mike Davis's report about how many weeks extension to the project are envisaged, that I can see, over and above the original 37 weeks that were specified. And the second thing is that paragraph 2.5 states that the red surfacing needs to be done in 200 to 300 metre sections, and the implication of what's written there is that has come as a surprise to people, and that's the reason that the cycleway has not been reinstated. Now, the original consultations that I attended made it very clear that the works would be done in 200 metre sections to limit damage to cycling infrastructure in the area and to limit inconvenience. And I don't know how many of you use that cycle route, but there is currently something of the order of 600 metres plus of Hills Road, which has neither a safe cycleway on the road or a safe cycleway or footway for pedestrians to use. It seems very ironic that the committee will be looking at an agenda item to discuss unsafe cycling later on, the police report, where that report indicates that something of the order of 300 interventions have been made in the reporting period to deal with unsafe cycling. Do the councillors have any thoughts about the degree of risk posed to cyclists, pedestrians, motorists by the failure of officers to execute this project properly?
Oh, thank you for your question. Members, yeah, please, Tim.
The interruption to the pavement use and bus use for blind people has been horrendous. A bus stop was entirely out of use for quite a period of time. They're walking into the barriers that are protecting are dangerous, the trip hazards for them. Those of us who are lucky enough to have sight and decent legs, of course, can cross the road, but it's a busy road, so it's not really acceptable at all, and I'm not pleased with it one jot.
Councillor Taylor.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Ms Davis, for coming along to express your concerns about this. I completely agree with you, and I have to say that I'm very disappointed at the unsafe situation, because before the project began we were assured that a safe route would be retained for cycling and pedestrians during the construction, and that clearly hasn't happened. With regard to the delays, the project was started at the end of January and was scheduled to be about 37 weeks. I can't see it getting up to the top of Hills Road much before Christmas, and I think it's likely to go into next year. I think that's a very sorry state of affairs, particularly as the aim of the scheme is to make conditions safer for cycling. It would be deeply ironic if there were to be cycle accidents during the construction phase. I'd be happy to pass your thoughts on to officers, and I'm sorry that they're not here tonight to hear your comments.
Councillor Pickus.
I do apologise. I was the one, as a former chair, who invited the county council officer to come here and talk to us and be asked the various questions, because when they started the project there was enough information, and we felt it's important to keep the people updated and informed. Unfortunately, the officer chose, of whatever reason, she chose not to come and just wrote the report. So I apologise for that, and you know as much as we do. I'm sorry.
Councillor Ashton.
Probably the most frustrating part of being a city councillor, because this is a county council matter and I'm not wiping my hands off it. And as Councillor Pip has said, we invited the county officers on 2 occasions to attend this meeting, but we have no power to summons them to come to meetings, which maybe it'd be nice if we did. And as Councillor Pip has said, they've sent us this report instead. And as Councillor Taylor has mentioned, she will take it up with the county officers as a county councillor. But it is a frustrating part where we don't have this joined up bit that the city can't really impose themselves on the county roads and the paths, what have you. But we do understand your frustrations. And as Councillor Pip has said, we have been knocking on the doors to get people to try and come and speak to the public direct.
Okay, thank you for that. I think the frustration of the chair can also be recorded there, if you would, James, because it is an important item and it does link nicely into some of the stats that the officers at the back have. And I think it would have been very useful for everybody, including them, to have heard what the progression is and why it's been tabled in this way. So we will express your wishes and let's see if we can entice them to come next time round, and we'll ask them for that. But it is a county issue. I have no power to do that. We can only express our displeasure, which I'm happy to do. Thank you for the question.